Hey, so I told you that I would be showing you how I did the look from yesterday. I thought the look was really cute, and when I've seen the colors, I was like, that is such a cute look for Valentine's Day. I think the colors are comfortable for somebody who is just beginning to do makeup, so that was another reason why I really liked the look. So today I'm gonna use the e.l.f. palette. I had a little oopsie right there. Um, one of the reasons why I like the e.l.f. palette is, first of all, it's really cheap, and this means you can mess up as many times as you want and not really feel guilty about it. I was telling Mark I would much rather mess up, a $15 palette than to go mess up, a $50 palette. So there's that, like, really good plus. So I do recommend cheap palettes to beginners. I think those are the perfect, and you don't have to go like, you don't even have to just get e.l.f. They have other brands that are cheap. ColourPop is one of those that is up there, and they're cheap and they are so good. Plus they have a ton of palettes. And another thing that I like about ColourPop is a lot of their palettes are actually neutral based colors. So I think ColourPop is one of those brands that if you're just stepping into makeup, they have a definite selection for you. And another reason why I chose e.l.f. though is because you can really find it anywhere. It's a convenient brand. And we're here in Arkansas where Walmart was like thought of and created or made or whatever. So there's a Walmart just around the corner from a church everywhere you go. So that was one of the reasons why I was just like, an e.l.f. palette. That's, so many people can grab that. That's something that, even if you live out in the, country or whatever, there's a Walmart or something close by that sells e.l.f. palettes. And so that's really good to do. There's other places, I would recommend trying out a bunch of different things too. Sally Beauty, they have things like Collab and JCat, which is cheap, and they're actually really good products, but a lot of people don't think to like get makeup there. But that's a really good place to get makeup also. So I'm actually gonna tape my eyes. Some people don't use tape, some people prefer not to, and that's fine. I actually like the clean cut look. Plus I think it's really good for somebody who's just learning to do makeup. Just press that in there. What you're really trying to do is get the you can go lower, actually, lower into like where more of the corner of the bottom lash line is showing, but and I'll do it. It just depends really on what I'm doing that day. But you want to make sure that you are definitely going into the direction where your eyebrow is gonna like intersect with the tape. So if my eyebrows were to extend more, it would meet at a intersection. Okay, and I'm gonna do the other side. Funny story, this eyebrow is actually shorter than this eyebrow. I was plucking one day and plucked a little bit too much over here, and so one eyebrow is like maybe half an inch shorter than this eyebrow, but you can't really tell, right? It looks pretty nice. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so there's people who use eye primers. I don't really prefer to use eye primers, if I'm being honest, and I'm not trying to knock anybody that uses eye primers, but if I'm being honest, I feel like I don't know the point of an eye primer. So I use a concealer, and right now I'm using CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer, and you can just get this at Walmart. This is where I got it. Sounds so gross. So I usually just put maybe two. And I know some people use, and I felt like one of the reasons why I was scared to do this video is I felt like I was gonna get a lot of crap for like techniques that I do. But right now I'm gonna use my favorite technique to use on the eye, and that's to use the finger. And I use my ring finger, and the reason why I use my ring finger is because the skin around the eye is really delicate, so you don't want to be putting so much pressure and stuff on it. And that's not to say that using eye brushes or an eye sponge is doing any sort of trauma to your face, but I honestly think your finger, and more specifically your two last fingers, and I'll tell you why in just a second, but I think using your fingers, it's just like, it's hard to explain that blend that you get from skin to skin. And that's actually something that I taught myself in when I was 13 years old, and that was actually my first time using a concealer, so it's actually kind of funny. But nobody really taught me how to do my makeup, so it was just I did a lot of experimenting with things. I thought a lot of things were really interesting, and what it was even more interesting was actually at the time, and I always have a wipey with me to like clear off. At the time, a lot of people my age weren't really wearing makeup, so that was pretty interesting too. The high school girls maybe, but when we were in 7th grade, it was like. And another funny thing is, I cannot relate to the blue eyeshadow thing. I see all these memes on Facebook, and it's like, we all went through the blue eyeshadow phase, and I honestly didn't. When I was 13, 14, 15, I went through this phase of a shimmery white eyeshadow. I'm not even kidding you. My cousin had it, and I found it in her stash of makeup. Kara, I love you. I found it in her stash of makeup, and I fell in love. And they stayed with us for a little while, and I just loved that eyeshadow. Then when she left, I was like, I need to find it. I need to figure out where she got it. Sometimes it's going to get underneath here, especially if you use your finger, just dab it out, because you're actually going to end up putting product under there, so it's not even a big deal. So I patted it out till it was evenly blended. So the reason why I say to use these two fingers, especially when applying stuff to the eyes, is because we normally use like these 3 fingers doing stuff more. We use this one a lot more, but you don't use these two as often, so the pressure that you're going to put on your eye is not going to be as harsh and as heavy. So that's something to know. I didn't mention before, but I had already put my eyebrows and face on. Later, I just knew that I was going to be putting a lot of information into this video, and I didn't want to like spend time, y'all watching me do my face. I do want to say that eventually I do want to get into that. I do want to show you like how to contour and things like that and do your eyebrows. But before I show you like how to contour and stuff, there's a couple things you need to know before that. One thing is skincare. And another thing is how to pick your foundation. But the reason why I say skincare is because I'm going to say this a lot. Makeup and skincare should always be hand in hand. If you're going to start beating up your face, you need to start taking care of it. So having a skincare routine or get a skincare routine in mind. Do your homework. When I was in high school, a lot of people were like, you don't ever get acne, and I wore makeup. People saw that I wore makeup, but they're like, you don't get a lot of acne. And the thing is, from a young age, because I started playing with makeup at a young age, I actually took an interest in ingredients in the back of the products, and I was about to cry because my first time ever experimenting, it was horrible. So I do want to spread information out there. To read the back of your labels. Another important thing that I really want to put out there is learn your skin. Learn your skin. Some products are not meant for you, so that's why I want to take the steps into learning to contour, because what I'm going to use for my face is probably not going to work for your face. And just a side note, I have combination skin, which means I get oily in my T-zone. And I think it's funny that they say this is the T-zone, because for me, I'm like, oh, it's a lowercase t, because I get oily like this and like this. I get oily right here. I get oily right here on my nose and right here. And if you look close enough, I have large pores. We'll actually show y'all. But I have large pores. I'm actually going to go back in there, and I have to do more stuff to my face, but I do have large pores right there, and that's because it's heavily oil, and that is a whole story about how because I naturally don't think that I had combination skin. People are going to be like, how do you just throw yourself into a combination skin? Well, it's kind of funny, which is why I said it's the whole story. When we get to talking about concealer and contouring and all that stuff, I will definitely have that story for you. So, okay, so like I said, and I'm sitting here talking. So if you're like me and you just talked and talked and talked away, that's probably going to crease a little. Just go back in there with like one, and just do it again. I really like to, you know, if I'm not sitting here talking, I really like to get a lot of the concealer. I like to get it even, but I like to make sure the outer parts of the eye, like all this right here, gets a good amount, because I can always add concealer to the lid, but I can't like go back and like add concealer to, you know, the outside of my eye, because that's usually where I start. I think that's usually where most people start, but okay, so we're gonna pat that in there. And you just want to pat from like right here in your eyebrow down all the way to the tape. That's if you're using tape. Oh, but anyways, I did my face and stuff already for that reason. People prefer to do their eyes first and then do their face, because you can clean up any messes you made. This is just a habit for me to do. I'll do my face first and then I'll do my eyes. One of the reasons is I like the challenge of getting it right the first time, but another reason is I like to see, it helps me to see what the finishing look is going to look like. I have a hard time imagining it in my face, but when I have my eyebrows and my face set and I'm slowly blending the colors, the look is coming together, and then the last thing I have to do is like lips. Okay, so you want to get like a nice crease or blending brush, depending on I know some people, if you're just now doing your if you're just learning now to do your makeup, you might not have, you know, brushes and stuff. I actually went to Walmart and I was like, I want to find a cute little set. I don't know what I did with it. I was like, I want to find a cute little set that, you know, maybe works, that's cheap. And, oh no, I dropped my concealer. I found this set. It's called Moda, I think, or I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. But it was like $9. And it has, you know, basic brushes. And I honestly think, first I was nervous. I was like, oh, because I do get kind of nervous buying brushes from like drugstores, because they're not always going to be the best. But I took a chance. I was like, these look like pretty decent. And I actually really like them. So we're going to use these today, because I feel like a lot of you, your first time buying brushes, might not get brushes that you're going to end up liking later on. So I thought this was a cute little set that I could just show you how to use. And if you wanted to like practice, it's $10 at Walmart, and it's cute, and it comes with a little bag. That's what I was looking for. It comes with a cute little makeup bag. So anyways, we're gonna grab like this is a crease brush, but a blending brush works nice also. And this is where a lot of the information is gonna come in when we're doing the eyes. And I know you probably don't think like, what else do I need to know? But you'd be surprised. So one of the mistakes that I see when girls tell me that the makeup's not coming out the way that they, you know, they copied a video or something. Let me get this concealer. It's bothering me. Okay. So they tell me that they're doing it exactly like it. And I look and I notice something. I notice that I think that they're not getting the vocabulary correct. And I say that because a lot of makeup artists will tell you, put this into the crease, and they're just showing you. So when you're doing it, you're like, okay, well, they put it around this area. Well, I'm going to show you why they put it around this area. This is something that I really wanted to do, because I was like, why don't the makeup artist just tell them like why they chose to put it there? Don't just say it's the crease. So a lot of girls think that the crease is right here where that fold is. I mean, not crease, eyelid. They think their eyelid is this whole area underneath this little fold, and it's not. Your eyelid is actually, get your finger and hold it like this. So hold your nail pointing out and this firmer side facing out. There's bouncier side, whatever. And put it right here in the corner of your eye and push in. I know it's going to look weird, but you feel that where it goes in, where your eye socket is? Okay. So where the bone is, follow that bone, the tip of the bone, not this bone. I'm talking about the very edge of the bone. That is where your crease actually is. So your eyelid is over this crease. Your eyelid is every part of that skin that covers your eyeball. So that is actually over this fold. And I think that's when a lot of girls put makeup on their eyelid, they're putting it just on this part, and that's why it looks kind of strange, because your eyelid is actually much larger than that. It actually goes up higher than that. So your crease is gonna be the edge of this bone. So the edge of this bone all the way around, that's your crease. So I'm gonna get this nice like peach color, and what I like to do is, some people go like this, and what you're gonna do is get a lot of fallout when you do that. So you wanna like poke at it, and I have a problem with having things even, so I just did that 3 times, and I'm gonna tap it off. Then I'm gonna go back in, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, tap off. Then I'm gonna come over here to where the bone is, so right here, and I'm gonna start patting in there, 1, 2, 3. And you're just gonna pat it in there. You're not gonna smear it. We're just learning, so you're gonna pat it. And you see, I know it's going a little over where the edge of the bone is, and that's fine, because you're gonna end up blending that out. I did that too much. And you're just gonna keep doing that all the way into where your nose is. And I like to pat it and keep going over it like this, just to get a nice even. And you see how I'm moving my head around? If you just do your makeup straight on, it's gonna look like it's even, but your shadow is just making this part darker. So if you look at me at a different way, it's actually light right here, because I thought it looked even because of a shadow. So when you're doing your makeup, you want to constantly, when you're working over here, turning your face with the mirror so you can make sure that everything's even. Another good thing is, when doing your makeup, I have this mirror right here. So when doing your makeup, you actually want to be looking at yourself from down below. So you want the mirror down here, and you want to be, because that will take away from the shadows that the light creates. A lot of information. And I know a lot of people think that it's just like a swoop and then you blend. I mean, there's a lot that when they edit videos, there's a lot that they leave out, because I mean, it is a lot. There's some girls who do, I mean, simple looks and stuff, but when you're just learning, they're leaving a lot of information out, and that makes me mad. So now we have an even, and then that's when I go over, just not blending, just go over the bottom, like bottom part like that. Let me see how the even. Then you're gonna do this on this side. So find the bone. I'm just gonna keep doing it, keep turning my head, making sure that's even. And I'm gonna show you something that I really like to do. I have always hated my nose, but there's one thing that I do like about my nose, and it's this darkness right here for some reason. I don't know. Some girls like that like flat canvasy look. I'm more of a, even though I'm putting makeup on, I'm more of a natural look. So even my like foundations and stuff are light coverage, just because, I don't know, I don't like that. But that's on me. On other girls, like on Nikki tutorials, she uses full coverage, and I'm honestly like, that looks gorgeous on her. But I feel like if I did it, it would be too much. hold on, I have to go check on Mila. Okay. Okay, so we did that. Okay, so remember I told you that your eyelid is, you know, goes further up? This is when we're gonna do it. So when I'm just adding one color to my eyelid, I like to go in there and put just a little bit of concealer so it'll catch that. It'll cover up pretty much what the, you know, the transition color did. So I'll just put like a little bit on my finger, just a little bit. And I'll start in the center, right near the lash line. And I'll do it all over the bottom area. So underneath that fold, the bottom part of your eyelid. And work my way up. And see, your eyelid is all of that skin that covers the roundness of your eyeball, and you can feel it when you're using your finger. That's why I say, like, using your finger, no matter how many people will say that it's unsanitary, if you're doing it on yourself, I don't see a problem. But your face is gonna show you the shape that you need to do. Your eyes are gonna tell you the shape that is right for you. That's why I always say never try and mimic a makeup video. And I say that a lot of the things that I'm going to tell you is going to be through experience. My first time ever mimicking, and I mean mimicking frame by frame, I was doing exactly everything that Nikki Tutorials was doing. I was putting the placement. I was like, oh, look like she placed it right here. She looked like she placed it right there. And at the end, it looked nice, but I was like, oh my God, like that wasn't for my eye. And I couldn't figure out what it was, but I was just like, well, the thing is, Nikki Tutorials has more slanted eyes than I do. I have almond shaped eyes. So I was doing my makeup for somebody who has more of a slant to their eyes rather than, you know, going with my shape. So it is very important that you follow the shape of your face, the shape of your eye. And one of the ways to do that is to follow, you know, the bone would be the crease. So the bone is the crease and everything below it is the eyelid. So you see how I got most of the concealer on the lower part of the eyelid and then I just faded it up because we just want the color to stick. So now what I'm gonna use is this gorgeous red right here. It's like I don't know, it's like a burgundy but with a little bit of a shimmer. So what we're gonna get is, this is also a blending brush, but it's a little flat, which is totally fine. And you're gonna get the color. And then like I said, you're gonna dab, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you don't have to do it 3 times. It's just, it's easy for me to remember how much I'm packing on if I keep it like that. The numbers just make me comfortable. So we'll do it again, 1, 2, 3. And then you're gonna start from the center, right here by the lash line. And you're gonna pack that color in all the way across the lash line. From here to this corner. I'm gonna try and do this. So you see how I'm putting it near, that's because I'm gonna blend out up here. So really I wanna make sure that I get like a nice, you know, shade at the bottom, because I'm really not gonna touch that part. If anything, I'm just gonna go back and just pat a little bit back on. So you wanna just work your way up. I like to cover the lower part first, so underneath that fold first. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be silent, do that. And you see I'm just patting it on there, because if you smear it, you're basically just getting rid of product and you're messing up the concealer underneath it. I mean, good concealers won't mess up, but you know, take your chances. So how I like to shape out the eyelid, now that I did that, is I'll get more product on the brush. So I did 5, if you saw that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I'll do is I'll go right here in the corner, and you feel it go in like that, and just do that all the way around. And I know that sounds crazy, and I know it looks crazy, but trust me, did it right there. And this isn't always how I do my makeup, but it's hard to explain to somebody, so showing you this is gonna be so much simpler. But that whole part that you're covering is literally your eyelid. So just poke it in there all the way. God, I know how crazy this looks. But now you see the difference. A lot of girls will just do the part under the fold, but you see the difference? It goes further than that. Your eyelid actually goes further than that. So that is really one of the reasons why I wanted you to do the video. I was like, there's so much that they don't know. So we're gonna go right here, and you're just gonna go up at a little angle. Right here, you're gonna go up just at a little angle and around. Okay, so now we're gonna do everything that we did on this side, Start in the center and by the lash line. Just pack it in color. If you're ever wondering why they tap the sides, it's because, and especially in cheaper, you know, you pay for what you get. So even though e.l.f. is pretty good, you know, not all of their shadows have fallout, but a lot of them do. Like, I don't know if you can see this dust, but the dust that's coming off of this brush is fallout. So I just do that so it won't land on my face. And especially because I do my contouring beforehand, I really don't want product falling on my face, because sometimes it just smears and it's a mess. And okay, so like I said, we're gonna fill in this lower eyelid underneath the fold, and you're gonna go from corner to corner. When you get a nice coat on it, that's when you're gonna get a little more product. And you're gonna poke in here in your eye and poke all the way around, all the way to the other side. Trust me, I know how crazy this looks. Sometimes I'm even like, I hate when Mark's around when I'm doing makeup. Like, I like to look all cute doing it. And so now I don't have to do that. But when I was first starting, I would not do my makeup in front of him, because literally the easiest way for me to learn was to do that. Was to sit there and poke it in. I mean, it looks crazy when you're doing it with your eye open. If you close it a little bit, you still get that. See how I'm poking? This is why I wanted to do makeup. Okay. And then sweep to the side. You see that? You love it. Okay, so you can use the same, this is a blender brush, which is, I mean, but it's still flat, so it still gets a good like coverage on there. But now what I like to do is I will grab that same orange that we got before, but I'll also grab, here, I'm using this, I use this as a transition, but I'm gonna take this color and a peach that's just a little bit darker, and I'm gonna mix those. So watch it, I do that. I'm gonna grab the darker shade, and I'm gonna do like 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna come up here and do 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 1. And what I'm gonna do is gently, and I wish that you could see how gently I do it, but you want the bristles to like barely touch the surface of that. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go right outside that red, so right outside your eyelid, in between the red and that peachy, and you're gonna just do little circular motions. And I'm hardly touching. One of the things about makeup is you build. So you know, when they edit and stuff, they make it look like, oh, they're just doing this like grand old job, but you build on that. You're constantly going back in and sort of getting the color evened out. So there is a lot to it. So I'm just gonna gently touch this. And what you're doing is just marrying those colors. If you're like me, when I'm doing my makeup, I start to like, my nose starts to run. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. The reason why I count, like I said, numbers sort of make me comfortable, but also it just helps me know that I'm keeping the same, that I'm getting somewhere close to the same shade every time I have to reapply product to the bottom. Okay, to the brush, I mean, I don't know why I said bottom. You're just gonna slowly blend outside that red, in between that red and that orange, and you're just gonna make them relate. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. And like I said, you're barely touching it. You're barely touching it. I don't know how to really explain that, just to say, you know, barely touch it. One of the reasons that I like these like neutral, pale, like bricky red and orange and peach colors is because the blending is pretty easy. Remember to move your face around. So one of the things that I like to do is I'll go back with this crease brush and I will get that same peach color that we got before. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll go back out here on the outside, and then just with the very tip of it, so just, you know, even this is just barely touching, you're gonna go just like inside the orange and just a little bit outside the orange, and you're just gonna blend it out. And I'll start blending on the outside and carry it in. And I see a lot of people leave this whole area white, which is fine, you can. I like to, this is the part that I was saying, I like this dark area in my nose and I will enhance that. So I'm gonna blend out in, and I'm just gonna stay even with it. So it's gonna actually bring itself into my eyebrow. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna 1, 2, 1, 2, and I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna start blending up into my brow. When I first started doing makeup, I was scared to touch this area because I was just like, it's so dark. But as I started doing my makeup more and more, I started to really like that area. And I was just like, and it made more sense to cover more, you know, to just cover more of the area. When I'm doing my eyebrows, I never clean it up right here. And part of the reason is because I do like doing this. I like the little fade into that. I don't know, you can't really see it, but so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right outside the orange, blend it in, and I'll blend that to the eyebrow. And as soon as it touches the eyebrow, that's when I go in with a little bit more product. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I come in here and I blend up into my eyebrow. And as you're blending up, blend over. I'm constantly jumping from like eye to eye just to get that right blend. So I actually have something right here. Okay. So we're gonna go back in with this blending brush. Get the red that you were using before and come back into the eyelid and start from the bottom, pack on some color there. And then just slowly go around. Well, I'm not doing it slowly, but just what I'm saying is, like, as the more you go up, the less product you're actually applying. So just like, it gives it like this nice blending effect. So start off at the lash line, pack on that color on the lower part of your lid, and then slowly work your way up. And remember, use this dip in your eye as a guide for your eyelid. I feel like just letting y'all know, the eyelid was like a game changer. So you're gonna come back in here with this, now I'm gonna come back in here with the darker peach color that I use, and I'm just gonna get a little bit of it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna come out here, and I'm just gonna, I lose a lot of the product on the tape, which is another reason why I like to have it here. And then I'll slowly and you're just gonna go in between the red and that orange, and you're just gonna blend out just a little bit again. This time, actually, I like to have the brush faced in, because when you have it like this, you're touching the part that's on your eyelid, and you really don't want to do that. So I'm just doing circular motions around, and you really don't need to do that much because we've already blended that. It's just to pack in that color. And then go into that center and carry it up. You know, you want to be really gentle with your brushes. You want to be really gentle when you're blending, because if you put a lot of pressure on it, you'll have a spot that has way too much you know, pigment on it, and you can definitely tell in like pictures. You can definitely tell in sunlight, and that's crazy. Okay, so we did that. We'll go in and do this part in just a second. I'm gonna put this away, and I'm gonna actually show y'all how to do a wing. If you are like really into makeup, you might know Charlotte Tilbury. I said Tilbury, no. Charlotte Tilbury, and she's a great makeup artist. She also has her own line. If you've seen the previews for like Pillow Talk lipstick, that's her. She has this cute way of putting on liquid eyeliner. She does like a connect the dots type of thing. So she'll put like a dot here, and a dot here. And what she'll do is she'll connect it like that, and then you just like color it in. Which I think is cute, and I think it's a good way. You might want to go look it up. Go to YouTube, look at Charlotte Tilbury, and liquid eyeliner or something, or wing, and she has a cute way, and I think that's a great way to learn, actually. But what I will do is, and I'll start where I start is, you see where that fold is? I'll start as soon as that fold touches a bone, so right here. So I'll usually start my wing right here. And what I do is I'll start from that area, and I'll drag it just a straight line until it meets my eyelash. Try not to cover it. I don't want to cover it. And a good way to do this, like I said, is to look down. And then I'll just go in from the center of the eye. Just fill in that gap. And then I will take the tape off. And I'll go from the corner of my eye right here, and I'll just meet that. Then I just fill it in. and I don't do it this way every time. This is just an easy way to teach. There's sometimes when I exaggerate the eyeliner, so I actually like to go up more. And I'm just gonna keep messing it up. Okay. And you're gonna do the same thing over here. You're gonna follow it straight there. So I'm gonna start where the tape is. You know, I think anybody, I really do, I think anybody can do makeup. It really just takes, you know, patience and practice. And sometimes a really steady hand. I'm actually really nervous right now, so my hands are pretty shaky. And you can use any liquid eyeliner, really. You don't even have to use a liquid eyeliner. You can use, you know, a regular pencil. I'm not really scared to use pencils. I don't know how people do straight lines with those. Okay, so so while that's drying, and well, I'll just add that later. So while that's drying, we're actually gonna get, so this is a detailed brush. This is just to get like the little spots. So we're gonna go back into the eyeshadow palette, and I'll show you what I mean by little spots. You can even use this like in the crease area, which is fine, or right outside the you know, the transition, which is fine. So you want to like make it go around, and I don't know how else to explain that, but the red is closer to the lash line, so you're gonna want the red on the bottom of the lash line to be close to the lash line. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and like I said, we're just gonna poke at it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, elf products for you. And you're just gonna get close to the lash line. You want to stay pretty close to that lash line. I'm just going to do it one more time. I'm going to come to this side. I'm going to do the same thing. Sorry, that noise is Lucy, my dog, outside the restroom door. I'm in our like master bedroom bathroom. This in the morning, like I'm right in front of the window to look into the backyard. In the morning would actually been the perfect time to do my makeup because the sun is rising, and oh my gosh, the lighting in here is so gorgeous. I wish this bathroom was huger. I wish I could have like actually do my makeup in here. I don't. I do my makeup in the living room. That has good lighting too, but not as good as back here. So then now you're gonna grab this lighter peach, And you don't have to get a new brush because you're blending. You're going to go into that red, but not deep into that red, but you're going to go into the red and you're going to just blend underneath it. You're still touching the red. So if you go too far out, you're going to look sick. You're going to look like the red's out here. And really, I don't think you have to pack on much color underneath. I'm going to do the same to this side. You're just going to do little tiny circular motions. You know, guys are like, makeup is but they talk about cars all the time, and I'm just like, cars or, you know, whatever. I do like some cars, but I'm not like, oh, cars, you know. I'm like that over makeup, though. But makeup is kind of like if you're painting a car, because you have the primer underneath it. That's to have an even tone, or that's to have, well, you have the primer underneath to have everything stick. And then right above it, which is the foundation, is to have an even tone. And I know that's why they put that, like, I don't know, that gray tint or that black tint or that white tint over cars before they color them. See, I couldn't tell you, like, terms for, like, fixing cars and crap. Mark watches a lot of car shows, so I, like, overhauling, Velocity, on Velocity. I actually do like to, I used to like to watch car auctions. I was just like, oh my god, that car's gonna go for $75,000. Anyways, so you really don't need to add that much. And you see, that's a nice blend. Okay. So we're not done with that. We're not done with that. This is why I like to have a rag around, a dry rag. But here's another thing about me. When I watch makeup tutorials and they're like, you're gonna want to wipe this on a rag or get a whole new brush. I'm like, dude, they do their makeup wearing nice clothes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, because I don't. I wear, like, I'll usually have an under t-shirt of what I'm gonna put, like, I'll have the under t-shirt, and then I'll put a nice dressy shirt. After I'm done doing my makeup, I'll put a nice dressy shirt over it. But this is because I do get messy when I'm doing my makeup. But when I see on makeup videos, they're like, wipe this on a brush, or yes, a lot of the times I do have a rag, but sometimes I don't, and I'm literally like, and I know that that's horrible, but don't lie. You do it too when nobody's watching. Okay, so now we're going to come up to the very top. Like, this is where the peach is, where you're going to go over and all the way to the very top. And you see this white right here? We're just going to, you know, do a little circular motion. Get some product on that. Okay. And you're going to come right here where this little dip is, and you're going to dab it in there, like, and then you're going to slowly blend it up just a little bit. It just adds that nice, like, shine in that dip. Like, look at me, look at my makeup. And really, you dip, but I actually have, yesterday was my first time using it, so it still doesn't have, like, a good grip. And you're going to come in here, dab, get the product on it, and then just blend. You don't want to go all the way up. You just want to go just a tad bit up, just until right before it's about to curve up. Okay. Now we're done with the eyeshadow. No, we're not. I'm so sorry. Okay. With that same white, you're going to dab, 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 tap, tap, dab, 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 tap, tap. You're going to come right here. And you're going to pat that color. Right there where your eyebrow, where that little space is. You're just going to, so 1, 2, 3. You're just going to dab it in there. You don't want to put too much. You don't want to put too much. So really be looking into the mirror to make sure that you're not putting too much. That's why you need good lighting, because Actually, from right here, it doesn't look like I'm putting so much on there. It doesn't look like I'm putting so much. But when I turn my head a certain way, ooh, that shimmer. Might have put too much. Okay, so now we're done with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my lashes. I don't put on falsies or false lashes or anything like that. The reason is I wear glasses, and the false lashes rub up against my glasses, and I do not like that. So if you're like coming to me for recommendations on lashes, I'm probably not gonna have a great variety. I do want to try some out just so I could be like, oh yeah, I recommend these, or these didn't work for me. But I'm still kind of iffy about lashes because you want to be gentle with your eyes. And when we get to talking about like skincare and stuff, I will talk about that too, to be gentle with your eyes. But I've seen girls who just like rip their lashes out. Like, you're doing trauma to your eyelashes. Calm down. But this is one of the reasons why I like to do this. This is doing trauma just as well. It's pretty dirty because yesterday I did it right after I applied mascara and I got stuck. So anyways, so we are going to curl our lashes, and you want to get as close to the lash as you can without pinching your skin. And that's just going to take you trying it out yourself. So I pinch, and what I'll do is I'll count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'll pull out a little and flip up. And I know that looks crazy, but that's what I do, and I'll count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See? And it has a nice little curl to it. And I do the same thing on the other side. 1. Okay. So another reason why my nose is so freaking runny. Don't think that I'm gonna wear this. I usually take it off. This is just this is my rag. So right now I'm trying out different things. I seen this. They had a blue one, and I probably should have grabbed the blue one, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't. But since I opened it, I usually, like growing up, my mom, we grew up with like, you couldn't have 2 cereal bags opened at the same time. If you opened one, you opened it, you finished it, and then you opened another one. And I'm kind of like that when it comes to makeup. Actually, I am like that when it comes to makeup products. So I opened this mascara. So this is the mascara that I'm currently using, which is Snapscara by Maybelline New York. It's just, it works pretty well. It's not like the most amazing, but it does, it does the job. It has a nice little like curve to it. So what I do is I'll open my eyes wide like a creep. Open my eyes wide like an owl. And I'll start from the bottom of the lash, and I shimmy, but I curl up. So you'll start like this, and you'll shimmy. And while you're shimmying, you'll slowly be turning the brush. So I start and shimmy up, shimmy up. And to make them stand up more, I will go up and in. So towards my nose, so up and towards my nose. And then when I get down here, I'll go out and over like that. Okay. I think, don't do this. You want to like swirl it in there. Make sure you get off the little extra. I do have a tip. Here goes a nice tip. If you get mascara on your face, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Continue what you're doing. Go back to it later. Let it dry. And then I go to the lower lash line. I mean the lower lashes. See, like I got some underneath my eye. So we'll let that dry a little bit before we decide to like go into that. Okay. No, there was something I had to do. Okay, so now the lip. This lip that I did yesterday, oh, I got some, it's okay, let it dry. I got some underneath me, let it dry. I used the Milani Satin Matte, or Matte Satin, whichever one you want to call it, but I think it's Satin Matte, in Plush, and I love this. I think it is so gorgeous, so gorgeous. I don't know if you can see that, so gorgeous. Take off a little bit of the product. What I like to do is I'll start it right here in the center. And I'll follow that in and I'll go, you don't want to, you just want to pat. Okay. Then go over here in the corner and be gentle. I take my time doing my lips. You can line, that's fine. I don't always do it, but I used to when I was in high school and I loved it. So I actually do want to start getting back into that. But you don't have to. So just follow the shape of your lips. I don't go over my lips. I did that one time and it made me look so crazy. I look like I had lip injections, and I guess that's the point. But I was just like, oh my God, never again. So I just go with the shape of my lips. Since I started up here. So I'll do that part. And then I'll do this part. And then I'll come over here and I'll go from the corner and I'll follow that line up. And the same thing down here. I'll come at this corner. And over here. Okay, so I usually, like I said, I usually do have a rag around. I don't have a rag today. But doing matte lips, when you first put them on, they have a liquidy texture to them. So I like to have a rag because I find that transferring the lip to toilet paper, or this is a wipey, which also sucks. But when you do matte lips and you like pat them off with toilet papers, tissue, wipies, it sometimes the tissue paper will stick to your lips, but sometimes like those wipey, it will leave the little like flurries on your lips, and I hate that. So I actually like to have a rag because it won't like take away from your lipstick or leave anything on your lipstick. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do this real quick. So I'll kiss it and then in between my lips. Okay, so I normally just do a matte lip, but yesterday I was just like, I kind of want like you know, a plump lip. To make your lips look plumpy, a good tip, sorry, I have some of those little flurries stuck on my lip. A good tip is a gloss. That's how you make your lips look plump. And what I like to do is I don't like to, because I don't really care for a lip gloss. I'm using L'Oreal's Galaxy Luminaire lip gloss. It's the holographic one, and I love this. It's almost like a highlight for the lips. So I don't really care for glosses. Personally, I do like a matte lip. You know, I like shimmery eyeshadow. I like glittery eyeshadow, but I'm more of a matte when it comes to the eyeshadow. And then, you know, I'll like throw highlight on. But because I don't like lip gloss that much, when I'm trying to get like that plumpy look, what I actually do is I'll only apply to the center. So I'm going to start right here in the middle. And I'm just going to see how I just stayed in the center. I don't drag it to like the corners. I just stay right here in the center. And I'll get a little more. Don't forget to take off excess because you want to, like, you don't want to throw too much on there and be like, oh my gosh. Start right here in the center. And I'll go up into my cupid's bow, like, well, the tip of my lip. See, not all the way down, and then I'll just like get rid of the rest of it right here. And then you don't want to like all the way around you. And it gives you that, like, and one of the reasons why I don't like gloss is because when you're talking, it sticks right here, like, and you're talking, you're just like, you just see, like, I don't like that. So one way to prevent it from doing that is to just not even put gloss there. So we're gonna go back with the eyelash curler, and we're gonna curl our lashes again. This time we won't do it as long. We'll do it 5. I'll count like to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I'm going somewhere like to an event or something, so like to a birthday party or whatever, I like to carry this in my bag. So before I get out of the car, I'll do one more curl. And I'll do it like 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing over here. And you see, you don't need, like, I don't have like the longest lashes, but I don't have short lashes either. So we do have one more thing to do. Drop the eyeshadow palette. Look, if you give me makeup for like my birthday, Christmas, I'm gonna use it. My sister got me this Fergie eye pencil like 2 or 3 Christmases ago, and it is so pigmented and so black that I really don't have to use that much. And this is how long I've actually had it. It wasn't actually 2 Christmases ago, but anyways, makeup does expire, just know that. But we're gonna put this on the lower lash line. And I do like to, I'll gently, and I just put it on the outside. Gently pull up. I used to carry it all the way in, but it made my eyes look like they were like, I have almond shaped eyes, but it made it look like the inside was like smaller, so I just quit doing that. Okay. Ooh. Oh, and do it with the side with the lipstick. Okay. So I know you're probably wondering, like, why my hair is like this. I usually, if I'm gonna straighten my hair, I'll straighten it the night before and then straighten it again the day after. But a lot of my days I don't have time to straighten my hair. So at night, I will French braid my hair, and then when I'm like doing a look. So this has been in my hair last night till it is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon maybe. So it's just been sitting in there. And then I'll take this is usually what I do before I take a picture. And I'll just shake it around. I mean, the transformation, right? So we got this look. I hope you all enjoyed this. I know it was really long. Thank you for lasting this long. There was a lot of information in there. There's a lot more that I would love to teach you. I'm probably going to end up doing a video tomorrow too. I mean, obviously I said I was going to be doing 14 days. So I will be doing a video tomorrow actually. I want to try and do it earlier so that I could post it sooner. I hate these baby hairs. But I I'm thinking tomorrow I might do a smoky eye. I'm kind of nervous because if this is like for, you know, I'm trying to keep into consideration that a lot of you are beginners. So I don't want to like jump into like dark, unforgiving colors. Black is one of those unforgiving colors. But I have, but smoky eyes are my thing. Those are my go-tos. I love a nice black lid. So I'm actually thinking maybe tomorrow I'm gonna do a smoky eye. I'm gonna do just like a regular smoky eye, and I think the next day I'm gonna do, there was a few people who said they wanted a red smoky eye, and I think that's obviously perfect for Valentine's Day. So I'm really thinking about doing that next. And then I was gonna go into a pink black smoky eye, and then I really want to put purple in there somewhere. So I was actually hoping somebody was like purple, because I think purple is such a great Valentine's Day color. Another Valentine's Day color that I really love is like a teal, and you don't really see that a lot, but I think it's gorgeous. I think that is perfect, especially beside like you know, a nice purple or pink. But anyways, let me know if you enjoyed this video. Let me know how you felt on the look. If you have any questions, if there's anything that I didn't mention that, you know, maybe you think you should know, let me know. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Bye.